What if I told you that the sweetest pepper in your garden and the fieriest hot pepper are not just different in taste, they carry different energies? Ancient garden wisdom has long held that what you plant beside a crop changes everything about how it grows, and modern plant science is starting to agree. Most gardeners treat all their peppers the same companions, same layout, same logic, and every season they wonder why their harvests feel incomplete. Today we're going to change that, because once you understand what your sweet peppers are asking for versus what your hot peppers need, your garden will never look the same again. Let's start with the science, because it answers everything. Sweet peppers, your bell peppers, your banana peppers, your mild cubanelles invest the majority of their biological energy into fruit development, large, thick-walled, moisture-rich fruit. To do that successfully, they need steady pollination, consistent soil moisture, and protection from the soft pests, aphids, thrips, that target their flowers before fruit even sets. Hot peppers are wired differently. Capsaicin, the compound that creates heat, is produced as a stress response. When a hot pepper plant experiences mild environmental pressure, it doesn't retreat. It ignites. It produces more capsaicin, more flavor, more fire. This means the companion plants that serve your sweet peppers, the soft, nurturing, pollinator-attracting ones, can actually interfere with your hot pepper's heat production if they eliminate too much stress from the environment. Here's the big question. Every pepper gardener should be asking, am I building a sanctuary for my sweet peppers, or a fire garden for my hot ones? The answer to that question determines everything about what you plant beside them. So, let's build both. Starting with the sweetest ones first. Sweet peppers are, at their heart, gentle plants. They ask for softness in return. First, we have what may be the most sacred pairing in the entire vegetable garden: basil. Here's what's happening beneath the surface. Sweet basil leaves continuously emit two volatile compounds, linalool and estragol. These aren't just what give basil its fragrance. They are, quite literally, chemical signals that interfere with the olfactory navigation of aphids and thrips, the two insects most likely to attack your bell pepper flowers before fruit can set. No flowers successfully pollinated means no peppers, it's that direct. But basil doesn't just defend, it invites. Those same volatile oils attract pollinators, particularly bumblebees, which are the most effective pollinators for bell peppers because of a behavior called buzz pollination, where they vibrate at the exact frequency that releases bell pepper pollen. Sounds a bit mystical, right? But the science is elegant. The ritual: plant sweet basil within 12 inches of your bell peppers on the south-facing side of the bed, where it catches morning sun and casts its aromatic shield across the whole planting. Pinch your basil flowers regularly. This keeps the volatile oil concentration in the leaves, where it does its protective work. Where sweetness tends sweetness, the garden finds its peace. Now let's talk about the companion most people walk right past in the garden center, and it may be the most underrated ally your bell peppers have: carrots. Not for what they grow above ground, for what they do below it. Bell peppers are highly sensitive to uneven moisture, and uneven moisture is the primary cause of blossom end rot, that dark sunken patch on the bottom of developing peppers that signals a calcium uptake problem caused by inconsistent watering. Carrot taproots penetrate deep into compacted soil layers, sometimes 12 to 18 inches, creating microchannels that bell pepper roots follow for deeper, more consistent moisture access. It's quiet, invisible work, but its effects show up in every pepper you harvest. The ritual: sow carrot seeds in alternating rows between your bell pepper transplants. As the carrots grow down, they quietly till the soil for your peppers below the surface. By mid-season, your peppers are following pathways the carrots carved for them. Next, we have a companion that asks very little and gives a great deal: spinach. Dense spinach leaves create what gardeners call a living mulch. Planted at the base of your bell pepper plants, spinach leaves shade the soil surface, reducing evaporation by up to 30% on hot summer days, and maintaining the even soil temperature that sweet peppers need for consistent fruit development. Spinach also suppresses weeds without competing for nutrients. Its root system is shallow and non-aggressive, so it works around your peppers rather than against them. And while it's doing all of that, you're harvesting outer leaves for your salads all season long. The ritual: plant spinach as a carpet around the base of your sweet pepper plants, maintaining 4 to 6 inches of clearance around each stem. Harvest the outer leaves regularly. This keeps airflow healthy and prevents moisture buildup at the soil line. The quietest guardian asks for nothing but the space to shelter. And last but not least, for your sweet peppers, and I want you to pay attention here, because hot pepper growers will need to adjust this one, we have lavender. Lavender and sweet peppers share a beautiful relationship rooted in chemistry. Linalool, the same compound that gives lavender its calming scent, is a powerful deterrent for aphids and whiteflies. But more importantly for bell peppers, lavender's flower structure acts as a landing beacon for bumblebees, dramatically increasing pollinator visitation frequency. More bee visits means more fruit set means more peppers per plant. It's that direct a relationship. The ritual: place lavender on the windward side of your sweet pepper bed so its scent drifts naturally across the planting. One established lavender plant can support up to 4 bell pepper plants in its aromatic influence zone. What smells like calm to you, smells like danger to the pest. Now, and here's where the garden wisdom shifts entirely. When we move to our fiery friends, the strategy changes, because hot peppers don't need a sanctuary, they need a fortress. Remember what we said at the beginning, hot pepper plants produce capsaicin as a stress response. The goal of companion planting for hot peppers isn't to eliminate all pressure, it's to eliminate the harmful pressure, pests, disease, nutrient theft, while allowing the natural growth energy that drives heat and flavor. These 3 companions understand that assignment completely. First, we have a plant that ancient herbalists and modern researchers agree on, for very different reasons. Oregano, the same volatile compounds that make oregano medicinal, carvacrol and thymol, are released continuously into the air around hot pepper plants, creating what plant scientists describe as an invisible chemical deterrent zone. Spider mites and aphids, which are the primary foliar pests of hot pepper plants, navigate by smell. Carvacrol disrupts that navigation entirely. But here's the part most gardeners miss. When oregano flowers, its tiny blooms attract parasitic wasps, small non-stinging beneficial insects that are natural hunters of the caterpillars that bore into pepper fruit. Let your oregano flower. The wasps it calls will patrol your entire pepper bed. The ritual: plant oregano directly at the base of your hot pepper plants and allow it to sprawl freely. Do not deadhead the flowers. The blooms are where your pest defense army gathers. The fiercer the spirit, the fiercer its guardians. Now, let's talk about the most powerful underground ally your hot pepper plants have: garlic. When garlic grows, its roots release allicin, a sulfur compound that creates antifungal and antibacterial conditions in the surrounding soil. For hot pepper plants, which are particularly vulnerable to fusarium and phytophthora root rot in humid summer conditions, this is more than helpful. It can be the difference between a full harvest and a collapsed plant by August. And honestly, does it matter why it works if it feels right? Generations of gardeners placed garlic beside their most prized crops. They knew something. The chemistry just caught up. The ritual: plant garlic cloves at the 4 corners of your hot pepper bed in early spring, before your peppers are even transplanted. By the time your hot peppers are established, garlic's root network is already conditioning the soil. Harvest garlic in late June, and your pepper plants inherit clean, allicin-enriched soil for the rest of the growing season. What purifies the soil purifies the spirit of what grows in it. And there you have it, the companion that gardeners have trusted for centuries. But I want to tell you something specific that most marigold advice gets wrong. French marigolds, specifically Tagetes patula, not the larger African varieties, are the correct choice for hot peppers. Here's why that distinction matters. French marigold roots release thiophene compounds that are directly toxic to root knot nematodes, microscopic soil organisms that attach to pepper roots and compromise nutrient uptake. When a hot pepper plant's nutrient uptake is disrupted, its heat level drops. Less capsaicin, less fire. A nematode infestation doesn't kill your plants, it diminishes them quietly over an entire season. African marigolds, despite their size, produce thiophene at much lower concentrations. French marigolds pack the most defensive power into the smallest plant. Choose intentionally. The ritual: plant French marigolds in a continuous border around your hot pepper bed. The denser the planting, the higher the thiophene concentration in the surrounding soil. Give them full sun on the south-facing edge of your bed for maximum bloom and maximum root activity. Even the brightest flame needs a wall to protect it from the wind. Now, What if you grow both sweet and hot peppers in the same garden? Or what if you simply want a foundation layer that supports every pepper variety you plant, regardless of heat level? These three companions speak both languages fluently. Nasturtiums are what gardeners call a trap crop, and they are extraordinary at it. Aphids are drawn to nasturtiums with near-magnetic consistency. A ring of nasturtiums around your pepper bed essentially creates an aphid buffet that draws pest pressure away from your peppers and concentrates it where you can see it and manage it. Spray the nasturtiums with diluted neem oil if needed, while your peppers remain untouched. And nasturtiums ask almost nothing of you in return. They're drought-tolerant, low-maintenance, and every part of the plant is edible. The flowers make remarkable garden-to-table additions to salads. Parsley is the silent professional of the companion garden. Its flowers, small, flat-topped, almost unnoticeable, are the preferred landing site for hoverflies and braconid wasps. Both are highly effective hunters of the caterpillars and whiteflies that attack pepper plants. Parsley's root system is shallow and non-competitive, so it never steals resources from either sweet or hot pepper varieties. It simply plants itself, does its work, and asks you to let it flower. And finally, chives, the most underutilized allium in the companion garden. Like garlic, chives release allium family compounds through their root system that chemically deter aphids in the surrounding soil zone. But unlike garlic, chives are compact enough for container gardens, which makes them the universal companion for anyone growing peppers in pots, raised beds, or small balcony gardens. One clump of chives beside a container pepper plant delivers meaningful pest protection in less than a square foot of space. And there you have it, the full picture of what each pepper variety is asking for. Now, let's bring it together, because companion planting isn't just a list of plants, it's a design, and the most powerful gardens are built around intentional combinations. These are the sacred combinations, tested, proven, and deeply satisfying to grow. The first combos in this list are bell pepper, basil, and lavender. This is the trinity for anyone growing sweet peppers for flavor and yield. Basil handles the insect pressure at the foliage level. Lavender calls the pollinators that make fruit development possible. And your bell peppers, sheltered, supported, and richly pollinated, simply bloom. Plant this trio in your most sun-drenched bed. South-facing, morning light. Watch what happens by midsummer. The second combos are hot pepper, garlic, and French marigold. This is the combination built for intensity. Garlic cleanses the soil of the pathogens that would diminish your heat. French marigolds defend the root zone from the nematodes that steal your capsaicin. And your hot peppers, free from the stress that harms, left with the stress that creates, produce fire. This combination has been trusted by gardeners across cultures for centuries. The chemistry simply explains why. Then we have the third combo, any pepper, nasturtiums, and parsley. Whether you grow sweet or spicy, every pepper garden deserves this foundation. Nasturtiums absorb the aphid pressure that would otherwise find your plants. Parsley calls the garden's defenders, the wasps and hoverflies that patrol for you. And your peppers, whatever their fire, grow free. This is the guild for gardeners who want maximum protection with minimum intervention. Which of these plants is already growing near your peppers, and which one surprised you most? I love hearing from you, so feel free to leave a comment below. Your garden story might just help someone else make a better choice this season. And if you want all of this in one place, every companion plant, every sacred combination, laid out in a clean printable guide, the free companion planting cheat sheet is waiting for you. The link is in the description below. For more ways to create a greener, more spiritually uplifting garden, check out these related videos, including Never Plant These 7 Plants Near Your Peppers, which tells the other half of this story. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon to stay updated every time we post. Thanks for watching, stay positive and keep blooming.